Hello, everybody. We are in week 4 of Baby and Me, my YouTube series that I'm doing with Jameson. Um, he is sleeping, and I'm hoping he stays asleep through this. So I'm gonna just go ahead and dive right into week 4. Start with Baby Jameson. I talked a little bit about this in my last video, I think, but Jameson has been battling a cold or just regular newborn congestion and mucusy, stuffy nose. And I just wanted to go into that a little bit about what we have done to help him because it seems to be working and helping. He's definitely doing a little bit better. I will tell you, it's been very frustrating. It's super hard when your baby is like so stuffed up and congested and he doesn't know to blow his nose, he doesn't know to cough. So it's like all you can do is help him as best you can. So we sort of got into this routine where, especially at night before we would put him to bed, Ryan would take him into the bathroom and start the shower and get lots of steam going and sit in there for about 5-10 minutes. That really helped to loosen up the congestion in Jameson's chest. And then we did get the nose Frida, which is the thing that sucks out the boogers. That thing really, really works. It's kind of gross, but once you get used to it, it's awesome and it really, really works. So normally at night after the steam shower and then again in the morning, we got some saline drops. They're fine for infants. They're little remedies, saline drops. I would put a couple in his nose, let it sit for like a minute, and then suck out all the boogers. And you get a lot of stuff, a lot of snot out. And then he's like, he hates it while it's going on, but then afterwards, it's like a sigh of relief, and he's like breathing right. Um, so we've been going through that, and let's see what else. So this week, in week 4, I've definitely noticed that he's starting to focus. Like his eyes are starting to focus, and um, beginnings of a little bit of a smile. So, when I put a toy in front of his face, like I was seeing a little bit of a smile. I definitely noticed that he was focusing on me a little bit more, looking at my eyes. That was really cool. He has always kind of been able to hold on to things, but I've definitely noticed this week that his grip is a lot stronger and in holding my fingers and even grabbing onto my necklace and my hair and stuff like that. He's much more alert. That goes with his focus, his eyes. He's sort of looking around a lot more now, noticing. I think he just sees better. He's growing nicely. I noticed that his head is like way bigger than it was when we first brought him home. He's almost grown out of his newborn diapers. He still doesn't like particularly like being changed, but that's definitely coming to a halt. Like he doesn't scream and wail every single time we change him now. So that's good. I think he's gonna grow out of that. And then we give him a bath. Like I try to give him a bath like 3 times a week before bed. Um, and he really didn't like that at first, but last night we gave him a bath and he didn't cry. He only cried at the very end when I took him out, and I think he was cold. He loves being bounced. Like anytime um, I need to calm him down, I'll like bounce him to the point where I'm like shaking him. And I feel kind of like, oh God, am I doing, is this okay? But he loves it, and sometimes he'll literally fall asleep while I'm bouncing him. So I know I'm gonna need a bouncer when he gets a little bit older. He also loves music. Sometimes I'll just put music on when he's crying and he'll stop. And he's still sleeping in our co-sleeper in our bed. He's technically a month old today, I guess, so I am going to try to start weaning him off of sleeping in our bed. I moved the pack and play into our room, and I'm hoping that I can start weaning him off of being right next to us and actually sleeping in the pack and play. So I'll give you an update on that next week. Um, The only thing that's been kind of off this week, I want to say, and it might be just due to like the fact that he's kind of more aware and of the world around him, and is growing up and maybe has growing pains, is his sleeping is totally off. Like, we were kind of lucky in the beginning because we would get like a 4 hour stretch at night where he would sleep, but that's not happening anymore. I'll get like an hour and a half, 2 hours if I'm lucky at night now with him. And he's kind of gotten himself on like a 2 hour schedule. So, like, basically, he'll sleep for 2 hours and then he'll wake up and feed and stay awake for maybe like an hour during the day and then go back to sleep for about 2 hours. But then at nighttime, he's been getting a little fussy. It's been getting harder to put him down, getting him to go to sleep at night. It's like he fights sleep and he's like kicking and squirming. So I'm not really quite sure what that's all about. But that's week 4 for Jameson. Then week 4 for me, this video is getting kind of long already, is I am definitely feeling more connected to him. I'm still trying to like learn his cries, but I think I'm starting to learn a little bit about his cries, and I might do a separate video on cries. I am still experiencing some pain, like some cramping and contractions, and I'm still like going through the stuff that happens after you have a baby. So I don't know when that sort of stops. I'm getting excited and motivated to start working out again, which is awesome. And my plan is at 6 weeks, when I'm supposed to be allowed to start doing normal things again, is I'm going to start slowly working out. So I'll keep you updated on that. I have been listening to this podcast called Create and Thrive. I listen to one podcast episode in the mornings when we wake up and I'm feeding him, and it's basically a podcast about young entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs in general starting like homemade businesses, which is what I'm trying to do. So if you're like me and want to do something like that, check out the podcast. It's awesome. Just some tips that I have that I don't really have control over, but just for the new moms or moms to be, during this time, especially the first month, I don't know what the second month is going to bring, but during the first month, there is lots of sitting around. So this is a great time to like plan or think or reflect. So this isn't really a time of doing things, but this is a great time to like plan things for the future. So I wish I had invested in like an iPad or a laptop, which I was thinking about doing, but I didn't actually get. So instead I have my handy dandy journal where I write down a lot of things, and I've been using my phone like more than I've ever used it before. But having like an iPad or a laptop so that you can get some things done it was smart, I think. And then something that I've tried to do is I do try to keep like my essentials in like a little basket or a bag. So like my breast pump, a phone charger, my journal, like a water bottle, some stuff for him. I try to keep that stuff sort of all together in like a basket for easy pickup when I'm moving from room to room, because once you're sort of settled in a room, like right now, I'm not moving anywhere. He's finally asleep, and it would suck if I didn't have all my stuff with me so that I can actually get things done. So that's about everything for week 4, and I will see you guys next week for week 5.